Hello friends, welcome back. So in today's session we will see access modifier in Java. So let's get started. So what is access modifier? Access modifier is used to define the scope or visibility of member, scope or visibility of member, of class, interface, enum or annotations. Or we can say that access modifier is used to define the scope of type and member of a type. So there are four type of scopes are there for members. Four types of scope: private scope, default scope, protected scope and public scope. So these four are the scope that can be used for class, interface, enum, method, annotations, constructor, whatever the member of a class can be there. For that one you can use scope. For class also you can use scope. For interface also you can use scope. For enum, for annotations, for any of them you can use access modifier. And that access modifier can also be applied to the member of a type, member of a class, interface, enum or annotations. And these four are the types of scope. So what is the private scope? If you say private scope is defined with private modifier. This is a keyword, nothing but. We also can say that access modifiers are the keywords. That is also keyword. So to define a private scope we have to use private keyword, private modifier. And what will be the visibility of that member or a type if we use private? The visibility of that member or a type will be within the type only. Suppose if I open this code and you see we have given here one class, that name is hello, and we have seen this one, we have defined public before to the class keyword. What does it mean? This is meaning that this class is public, means the accessibility of this class is anywhere. Public scope can be accessed anywhere. Private scope can be accessed within the type only. Suppose this is a private, F1 is a private field here. So that field can be accessed within the class hello. Within this class only the field F1 can be accessed. So this is the use of private modifier. Private modifier means private modifier you cannot use with the type. You cannot use with class, you cannot use with interface or with enum or with annotations. You cannot use. Yeah, if class is inner class or interface is inner class or enum is inner class or annotation is inner class, then you can use private modifier. For enum also you cannot use that one. So in this case private scope you can define for member of a class. Interface, enum or annotation. But private scope you cannot define for the outer class, interface, enum or annotations. But if your class is inner class, or if your interface is inner interface, or your enum is inter enum, inside a class you defined some enum, or inside a class you defined some annotations, for that one you can use private, but for class level you cannot define, or for interface level you cannot define private modifier. What is the meaning of default scope? Default scope means what? The visibility, and for this one there is no modifier. For default scope, no modifier. If you don't use any modifier, then the visibility of that element will be default. The scope of that element or class or type will be default. And what will be the visibility of default scope? The visibility of that element will be within the type and within the package only, within the same package, Suppose here field F2 is a default field, because we have not used here private, protected or public. We have not used any access modifier here. So in that case, the scope of variable F2 is a default scope, and default scope says that you can access this F2 field within the same class and within the same package. Same package means any class that is available under this package. Any class that is available under this package can access field F2 directly. After creating object, you can access. Suppose I have created one class here, main class. Oh, sorry, not main class. Hello main class. Yeah. So inside hello main class, I have created hello object. From that hello object, I am calling one get method. Why I need to call this get F1? To get the value of field F1. Why F1? Because F1 is a private. I cannot access with reference type. I cannot access with object. I need to access through some method only, and that method is get F1. That is returning the value of F1. Because F1 is a private. Since this is a private, the scope of field F1 is within the class only. Within class only you can access. You cannot access outside the class. So that's why I am calling get F1. I am calling one method. That method is public. So I can call that method, no issue. Using that call, I am getting the value of F1. But F2, F3 and F4 I can get. Why? Because F2 field scope is default scope. The scope of variable F2 is default, and that I can access within the class. Yeah, of course within the class we can access. But within the class we can access, but inside the package, inside this same package, com.techhub.javascript.demo.modifiers, inside this package any class is there, that class can also access this one. So because this hello main class is available under the same package only, so that's why we can access F2 also with the reference variable. So this is the use of access modifier default. So the next is protected scope. What is the protected scope? For protected scope we have to use modifier protected, keyword protected. And what will be the visibility if we use protected modifier? The visibility of that member or a type will be within the type, within the same package, and into another package with inheritance. So how it will be? Suppose Suppose inside this hello class, inside this hello class, we have defined one protected variable f3. That variable I can access within the class, no issue, we can access within the package. Yes, we can access, because this has a wider scope than default one. And within same package we can access anywhere. But what if I want to access this field f2 into another package? Can I access? Yes, I can access, but I can access only inside the subclass of hello only, inside the subclass of hello only. So that's why we have defined here one class in another package, com.techhub.java secdemo.p1. we have defined one package. Inside that package I defined one class called hi.java. If I open this hi.java, then you will see inheritance relationship is there. Inheritance relationship is there. So I can access f3 here. If you can see very clearly, I can access f3. Why? Because f3 is protected and f4 is public. Yeah, f4 is public obviously. Then if it is a public, then we can access anywhere, no issue. Because for public you can access that element or type anywhere. You can access that type or element anywhere if the modifier is a public. So f4 we can access in high, no issue. But f3 we can access, we also can access, because f3 is protected. But we cannot access f2. Why? If I uncomment this statement, I will get one compilation error. Why compilation error? If you read that error, the field hello.f2 is not visible. Field of class hello, field f2 of class hello is not visible, because the scope of field f2 is default. The default field can only be accessed within the same class or within the same package. But this package is different. Hello class package is different. That's why we cannot access f2. But f3 we can access, because f3 we have given one condition. f3 only you can access when the class is the subclass of that one. Means f2 or protected members we can access only inside the subclass, So hi is a subclass of hello, so we can access f3 we can access because that is public. And the last one is public. Public anywhere you can access. Anywhere. Suppose I have created main class hello. So inside this main class hello, I am accessing h4 only. I can access h4 only. I cannot access anyone. I cannot access f2 also. Why? Because f2 is what? Default. I can access within the same class or within the same package. And f3 I can access within the same class, within the same package, or in another package with inheritance relationship. But this main class is not the subclass of hello. So that's why you cannot access f3 also. f3 you cannot access, but f4 you can access. Why? Because for f4 the scope is public, so it is visible to anywhere. So that's why I can access that here. And if I run this one, you will see the output. That's it. See, yeah, private method hello. Here I am calling one method, that is a private method, and this one is a public method. Another method we cannot call here, because that method is either that is a default or that is a protected. If it is a protected, we can call in subclass only, and if it is a default, then we can call them in same package only or within same class only. And if it is a private, then definitely we can call in same class only, we cannot call that outside also. So in that case, these are the four scopes and the modifier for them, and that is the visibility of that access modifier. So this is the example, how we can use. Suppose here we have given one note, type like class, interface, enum, annotation cannot be declared as a private or protected. Yes, that we have to keep in mind. Any type, like if it is a class, interface, enum or annotation, that we cannot declare as a private. When we cannot declare as a private? If it is an outer class. Suppose this is a class here, this main class, this is a one class. This class we cannot give as a private, or we cannot give this as a protected, we cannot give. If you see the error, illegal modifier for the class, for main class, only public, abstract and final are permitted. So we cannot use this one. We can use default. Yeah, this is a default we can use, or we can use public. So this is that the use. Okay, what if I declare this class as a default? If it is a public, then it is accessible anywhere. But what if I declare this class as a default? Then in that case, that class will be accessible within the same package, or within same package only. Suppose here the class test is there. The class test is there. That class test is a default one. This is a default. So where I can create the object of this class, I can create within this package only. Within this package, in any class, I can create the object for test A. So I am creating inside this one, test A. I am creating here inside hello main class. I can create, and I am also trying to create inside this main class that is available inside the package P1. That is a different package. What if I will create here? I cannot create. See, I cannot import at all. While importing, if you see the error, then what error will come? The type com.techhub.java se demo.modifiers.test is not visible, because the access modifier is a default for this one. So this is called the access modifier in Java. So far, whatever we have seen, that we can define through this diagram only. What exactly this diagram means? If it is a private, then that is a more restrictive. If it is a public, then it is a less restrictive. What is the meaning of more restrictive and less restrictive? Less restrictive mean within the class only you can use. Within the class, that member of a class we can use. If any member of a class is marked with the private access modifier, then that modifier we can use within the class only. So that is the more restrictive. More restricts are there. If it is a default, then yeah, this restriction is decreasing. Because we can use that member within the class and within the same package. Yeah, so some restriction is released. And if we give that as a protected, then we can access within the same class, within the same package, and outside the package also, but with the inheritance relationship. And if it is a public, then anywhere you can access. So from if you come to down from the top to bottom, if you come to bottom from top, then restriction is releasing. If you go to up from down, then restriction is imposing. So this is called access modifier in Java. So that's for today only. So in the next session we will see typecasting in Java. I hope you like this session. So please subscribe my channel, and we will see you in the next session. Till that, bye bye, and thanks for watching.